need for sleep and the effects of fatigue have been studied for years. There is a direct correlation between sleep/rest and improvements in readiness. It makes sense that if sleep and rest is adequate, that fatigue will be reduced and mishaps will be less likely. Captain Cordle, former Chief of Staff at COMNAVSURFLANT, was asked about this issue.
Going without sleep for 22 hours has about the same effect on performance as being legally drunk. We'd never allow sailors to stand duty impaired by alcohol, so let's make sure they get enough sleep. Be innovative. Find new ways to allow them to both do their regular jobs and stand watch. I saw firsthand how a simple change to a stable circadian watch schedule made a big difference in my crew's attitude and performance. You can too.
Dr. Shattuck doesn't want to bore young sailors with the specifics about circadian rhythms and specific hierarchical data, but she has worked with and performed various sleep studies with sailors aboard ships. She has found some interesting information about several alternate watch schedules. She is a proponent of the 9 to 3 watch cycle, and she explains what she has studied and the results she has discovered.
We've come to believe that the harder we train, the better our performance. But sustained improvement only happens when we balance work and training with recovery and rest. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Lack of sleep is directly related to elevated stress, poor performance, and safety mishaps. We're learning our bodies are complex systems that require maintenance. You may think you can still be at the top of your game with a little rest, but it's not supported by testing. Reaction times and decision-making suffer when we're fatigued. Get the sleep you need and find ways to make sure your shipmates are rested too. We can't afford an accident.
You have heard the views of Captain Cordle and the results of various studies from Dr. Shattuck. But sailors on board USS Jason Dunham also had a few comments about the things they've learned. Let's take a look from a sailor's perspective on the 9 to 3 watch schedule and other alternate schedules that were tried.
The new watch schedule, I like how I can plan my day around it. Like, it was consistent. Like, I always had watch at the same time every day, so it was easier to schedule events, or if I needed to be somewhere or do anything. Just even regular day when I want to go work out, like, I can set a set schedule.
I stood on the 3 to 9 on the PAC, or Propulsion Auxiliary Control Console. I like the rotation for the most part. It's better than what we did before with the 5 and dimes. The only downfall is when we have engineering drills or damage control drills and you have the 3 to 6 watch, you really don't get very much sleep.
Basically, with the watch schedule, I was able to work out a lot, get a lot accomplished during the day, like a lot of paperwork I have to do, and actually get involved with my guys, a lot of training we did. Also, just overall, it's a good schedule.
Started off with the 3 to 9, and then shortly after the sleep study, we switched over to the 6 and 18s. Because as an IC, we're pretty undermanned. So if you're a specialist in something, you're most likely the only specialist in that. So I mean, the 3 to 9 was brutal.
Each ship can be and often is different. What works on one might not work exactly the same way on another ship. But the CO and XO from USS Jason Dunham shared some of the things they've learned from the sleep and fatigue studies on their ship.
Jason Dunham participated in a sleep study during our workup phase, during COMTOX, and also on our 2012-2013 deployment, utilizing a biorhythmic watch bill. We shifted our entire watch bill to what I would call a biorhythmic rotation. Now, we had 6 and 6 watches, we had 3 and 9, we had 12 on, 12 off. There were 4 and 8s, there were a bunch of different rotations, but the key point to all of those is that there was a set time every day that an individual could get sleep. They didn't rotate on a daily basis like a normal watch rotation would. And the key benefit from that is that sailors could schedule their sleep. They were getting used to sleeping on a cycle, and they were better rested.
Some of the challenges, most of the challenges we experienced with the new watch schedule were really revolved around leadership issues. It's how we managed all of the off time sailors have now. Most of that time in the morning, we want to do drills or training or qualifications, and we're doing it so that sailors who just spent a lot of time on watch still have a chance to go get rest.
You've heard and seen some of the work done with sleep and fatigue. The science has shown that there's a relationship between sleep and performance. From a safety standpoint, there's also a direct relationship between lack of sleep, collective fatigue, and increased mishaps. Your ship's readiness is in your hands. As Dr. Shattuck said, sleep is a necessity. You can't function at your best when you're fatigued. Look at your sleep habits. Try alternate watch schedules where and when possible, and get the rest you need to improve performance.